Did you know that several European countries are now removing immigrants at a pace not seen in decades? In 2025, nations that once welcomed newcomers with open arms are closing their doors, changing their laws, and even dismantling communities. But why now? What's driving this dramatic shift across the continent? The answers are more complex and more urgent than most people realize. Today, we're unpacking the facts, the policies, and the surprising public support behind this major immigration reversal. Latvia. In the quiet northeastern corner of Europe, Latvia has made headlines this year for a bold transformation. Facing pressure along its borders with Belarus and Russia, the small Baltic nation has poured hundreds of millions of euros into border protection. What was once a relatively quiet crossing point is now lined with thermal cameras, motion detectors, and aerial drones. Info Migrants reported that Latvian authorities have taken the drastic step of turning migrants away the moment they arrive. No hearings, no waiting, just immediate expulsion. This move, known as pushback, has sparked global criticism. But Latvia insists it's about national survival. At the same time, the country has made it harder to stay legally. Immigrants now face longer residency requirements and mandatory language exams. Many long-term residents, especially Russian speakers, are packing up and leaving. Latvia, it seems, is building not just physical walls, but legal ones too. Greece. For years, Greece was the front door to Europe. Its shores became the first stop for thousands escaping conflict in Syria, Afghanistan, and beyond. But in 2025, that image has shifted. Greece is no longer playing host. It's laying down hard rules. The government has slashed asylum approvals and stepped up deportations with a speed that's left human rights advocates stunned. According to Al Jazeera, migrants who once waited months now face years in detention centers. Some are even being sent back before their cases are fully reviewed. Meanwhile, Greece has partnered with other countries to speed up returns, avoiding EU red tape entirely. Technology has also become a new gatekeeper. Surveillance boats patrol the seas, drones scan the coastlines, and artificial intelligence is being used to detect crossings. The message is clear: Greece is tightening up, and the age of easy entry is over. Austria. Tucked in the heart of Europe, Austria has always been a crossroads, but now it's becoming a stop sign. With pressure mounting from within and across its borders, the country has set strict new limits on who gets to stay. Asylum approvals are down drastically, and Austria has embraced a controversial idea: offloading asylum processing to centers outside Europe altogether. Imagine applying for safety in Austria but ending up in North Africa while your case is reviewed. That's the new system being built. In addition, Austria is taking aim at long-term migrants who've relied on government support. Even legal residents are finding it hard to gain citizenship if they ever received unemployment or welfare. AI-powered surveillance towers now stand watch at border points, tracking every movement. The shift is strategic, and Austria is making it very clear: their system is not open to just anyone. Denmark. Denmark, often seen as peaceful and progressive, has taken a surprisingly strict approach this year. The government has signed an international agreement to relocate asylum seekers, not to Denmark, but to Rwanda. That's right, people fleeing war or danger may never set foot on Danish soil. Instead, their cases are handled overseas. But the policies go deeper. As highlighted by Politico, Denmark has put forward a zero asylum stance, accepting almost no new refugees unless under very rare exceptions. Even those already living there aren't safe from deportation. Syrians and Afghans who were once welcomed are now being told to return home. Adding to this, Denmark has created designated integration zones where non-Western immigrants are required to live and learn Danish language and customs before moving elsewhere. Non-compliance? That could mean removal. It's a dramatic and deeply controversial approach, but a majority of voters in Denmark say it's exactly what they want. Italy. Italy has faced one of the toughest migration challenges in Europe, especially from the sea. With tens of thousands arriving each year from North Africa, the country has felt overwhelmed. In 2025, Italy struck a bold deal with Albania. Instead of processing asylum seekers at home, Italy is now sending thousands annually across the Adriatic Sea to Albanian-run centers. This shift aims to free up Italy's overcrowded shelters and fast-track removals. Meanwhile, the government has intensified its crackdown on migrant boats. Hundreds have been seized, and rescue groups operating in the Mediterranean now face harsh penalties. Italy is also pushing new deportation targets, determined to send out at least 40,000 undocumented migrants by year's end. Critics say these actions blur the line between enforcement and human rights violations, but the current administration insists it's the only way to regain control. If you're finding this video eye-opening so far, take a second to hit that like button. It helps more people to see stories like this. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the full picture behind the headlines. Now, let's get back to the countries making the biggest moves in 2025. Poland. Poland's transformation has been loud and deliberate. In 2025, AP News noted that it sealed its borders with Belarus, installing high-tech walls armed with surveillance systems, drones, and AI. What pushed this drastic move? The government accused Belarus of using migrants to destabilize the country. Now anyone caught crossing illegally is deported instantly, with no asylum process. Charter flights are leaving monthly, removing thousands back to Africa, the Middle East, and South Asia. Poland's message is firm: no papers, no entry, and no exceptions. Public support? Through the roof. Most citizens believe these measures are about protecting their culture and safety. But critics argue it's eroding Poland's reputation as a democratic state. Finland. In 2025, Finland, long known for its calm and compassion, has adopted a sharper edge. This year alone, over 10,000 migrants have been deported. The process is swift. New laws allow illegal arrivals to be sent back within just 48 hours. Reuters reported that the eastern border with Russia is now completely shut down, blocked by a 200-kilometer security fence filled with motion detectors and heat sensors. Finland is also revoking residence permits from thousands, claiming their home countries are now safe. Even small criminal offenses can now trigger automatic deportation. Citizens surprisingly agree. Many say their country can't afford to risk its social system or security any longer. Sweden. Sweden's shift has stunned the world. Once a symbol of humanitarian openness, the country is now enforcing one of Europe's most aggressive deportation programs. Operation Clean Sweden is the new name behind the mission. 50,000 undocumented migrants targeted for removal this year. The state has cut off benefits, no more housing, no free healthcare, no support. Families are being deported together, even if children were born on Swedish soil. Immigration courts now move faster than ever, and schools are even being used to identify undocumented minors. Global outrage hasn't stopped Sweden. The government claims it's about restoring order, and voters appear to agree. Germany. Germany, once hailed for its willkommen Kultur, or welcome culture, has changed course. After accepting more than 2 million refugees since 2015, the strain became visible. Now, Germany is deporting more people than at any time since World War II, over 60,000 in 2025 alone. New laws allow removals in just 14 days. Government support has been cut to push voluntary returns. Crime in migrant-heavy areas has sparked public concern, and police have launched sweeping deportation raids at shelters, train stations, even schools. It's a tough stance that some call extreme, yet polls show the majority of Germans believe it's time for a reset. France. France leads the list with over 100,000 deportations in 2025. This isn't just policy, it's a complete national shift. Undocumented migrants, failed asylum seekers, even legal residents flagged as threats are being removed. The government has dismantled dozens of migrant camps, loaded buses, and flown families back to their countries, some of whom had been living in France for years. After waves of riots and violent incidents in 2024, France adopted emergency laws, allowing fast-track arrests and removals. Entire nationalities like Algerians and Moroccans are now blocked from applying for asylum. Despite international backlash, most French citizens support the move. The country's new motto, France First. So now you've seen how 10 European countries have rewritten their immigration stories in 2025. From high-tech fences to offshore processing, Europe is changing fast. For many, these changes reflect a desire for safety and control. For others, they signal a worrying loss of compassion. But one thing is clear, the open-door era is being replaced by closed gates and quick exits. And as promised, you got the full picture behind the bold title. But don't stop here. Our next video is even more revealing. Click now to watch. 10 countries where illegal immigrants in the US are coming from. You won't believe where they're really from and why they're leaving. See you there.